Yeah, good morning everyone. I'm Shibli Shahriar, currently a researcher at Research Institute for Humanity and Nature. So today I'm going to present one of my researches entitled Intergenerational Sustainability and Intragenerational Equality, Future Ahead and Back Mechanism as a Potential Solution. So we have been experiencing the overexploitation of natural resources, environmental problems, and climate change. This imposes an irreversible cost to the future generations and thereby endanger intergenerational sustainability. So intergenerational sustainability is unique due to its unidirectional nature. That means what we do today affect the future generations, but the opposite is not true. That means the future generations cannot affect us. So similarly, numerous research show an increase in income and wealth inequality both in developed and developing countries. So this increase in income and wealth inequality increases inequality in other sectors such as health, education, or job opportunity. Therefore, maintaining intergenerational sustainability and intergenerational equality are the two major challenges for the current human society. So in our research, we analyze human decision for intergenerational sustainability and intergenerational equality in a single framework. So for the remainder of the presentation, I will refer intergenerational sustainability as IS and intragenerational equality as IE. So a number of researchers analyzed human decision for IS and IE, but for the time constraint, I will not go through the details of the literature review. Rather, I will go directly to the hypothesis. So one of my past researches, Shahriar et al. 2016, show that with urbanization, people tend to be more pro-self and less pro-social. That means with urbanization, the number of pro-self people increases. These pro-self people tend to maximize their own payoffs. That's why Shahriar et al. 2016 and 17 hypothesized that IS and IE will pose more danger with urbanization since they require pro-sociality. Therefore, in the highly urbanized societies, to maintain IS and IE, we might need new mechanisms. Sorry, can I change my slide? Okay. So in this research, for the first time, we have analyzed IS and IE in a single framework. First, we examine how urbanization affect IS and IE. Second, we examine the effectiveness of a mechanism called future ahead and back mechanism, whether this can improve IS and IE in a single framework. So I'm going to change my slide. So the question one is, how does ongoing urbanization affect IS and IE? And question two is, can the future ahead and back mechanism FAB improves IS and IE in the highly urbanized society? So I'm going to the methodology section. we have implemented an sustainably intergenerational equality game in the urban and rural society. 21 sessions of ISIEG. So intergenerational sustainability and intergenerational equality game is referred as ISIEG. So we have conducted two types of ISIEG. One is basic ISIEG, another one is FAB. In total, we have conducted 21 sessions. 7 sessions of basic ISIEG have been implemented both in the urban and rural region, and FAB have been implemented only in the urban region. So in a sequence of ISIEG, there are 6 generations, each of which consists of 3 members. So in ISIEG, members in each generation needs to take 2 decisions in 2 games. The first game is called AB game. In this game, a generation needs to choose between option A and option B as a decision for intergenerational sustainability, or IS. Once a generation's payoff in the AB game is being made, in the second step, they need to split the generation payoff among themselves in the split game as a decision for intragenerational equality. So let me show how the AB game works. In the AB game, the first generation needs to choose between option A and B, where A corresponds to a payoff of 1200 and B corresponds to a payoff of 900. When the first generation chooses option A, the subsequent generation's payoff uniformly decline by 300 points. That means when the first generation chooses option A and receives 1200 points, second generation can receive either 900 point or 600 point by choosing option A or option B. However, when the first generation chooses option B and receives 900 points, the subsequent generations do not suffer. That means their payoffs do not decline. In this case, by choosing option A, the second generation receives 1200 point, and by choosing B, she receives 900 point. That means in this game, A is an unsustainable option that imposes an irreversible cost to the future generations, and B is a sustainable option that maintains intergenerational sustainability. So let me show you now how this AB game works under the basic ISIEG, that means in the control group, and how it works in the FAB, that means in the treatment group. In case of the basic ISIEG, 3 members in a generation takes a decision between choosing option A and option B through deliberation. However, in case of FAB, they take the decision in the 2 steps. In the first steps, they request to the previous generation regarding choosing option A or option B as if they are the member in the next generation. In the second step, they return back to their actual position, and from the actual position, they deliberate and choose between option A and B. If their request in the first step and their choice in the second step are the same, such as option A in step 1 and option A in step 2, their final decision is A. However, if their request and their choice in the first step and second step are different, they need to individually vote for either option A or option B to finalize the generation decision. So once their payoff is being determined in AB game, they need to split the generation payoff among themselves in the split game. So in the split game, under basic ISIEG, 3 members first discuss how should they split the generation payoff among themselves. Hereafter, the member with the highest socioeconomic status is chosen as the splitter, who splits the generation payoff among the generation members or among themselves privately. The other 2 members cannot object the division of the payoff determined by the splitter. This is basic ISIEG. In case of FAB, first 3 members discuss and make a request to the previous generation regarding the division of the payoff as if they are the members in the next generation or future generation. In the second step, they return back to their actual position and again discuss about how should they split the generation payoff among themselves. In the third step, the member with the highest socioeconomic status is chosen as the splitter, who split the generation payoff among the generation members privately. So this is how basic ISIEG and FAB works in the split game, or the measure for the intergenerational equality. So let's go to the results. So Another one is to determine people's social value orientation. We have implemented a social value orientation game that simply categorize people as pro-self or pro-social, competitive, individualistic. So here the first option is you receive 500, the other receives 100. Here the unknown other is the unknown other. The second option is you receive 500 and the other receive 500. Option 3 is you receive 560 and the other receive 300. Here the first one corresponds to competitive value orientation, second one corresponds to pro-social value orientation, and the third one corresponds to individualistic value orientation. So so competitive and individualistic together are called pro-self value orientation, and second one is pro-social value orientation. So let's go to the results section. So results section is divided into two parts: results regarding intergenerational sustainability and results regarding intergenerational equality. So first we will see the urban rural difference in intergenerational sustainability under basic ISIEG. So in the basic ISIEG or in the control group, only 12% of the generations in the urban area choose sustainable option B. However, in the rural area, 83% of the generation choose sustainable option B. That means without any mechanism, urban society endanger intergenerational sustainability, and rural society maintain ISR intergenerational sustainability without any mechanism. So this slide shows the distribution of the number of pro-social member per generation. So in the urban region, out of the 42 generations, 33 generations consist of only pro-self members and no pro-social member. So however, such generation is only 3 in the rural region, and 27 generation out of the 42 consist of at least one pro-social member. So this table shows with urbanization, the number of pro-self member increases and pro-social members decline. So regression analysis confirms that urbanization affects decision for intergenerational sustainability in two ways. So there are two channels. One is a change in social value orientation from pro-social to pro-self. Another is other region-wise factors such as cultural learning system. So now we'll see the effect of FAB in the urban region. So this shows that under the basic ISIEG, only 12% of the generations choose sustainable option B. However, when we give the treatment, that means that under FAB, 93% of the generation choose option B. That means compared to the basic ISIEG, the sustainable option B increases significantly, and majority of the generation maintains intergenerational sustainability under the treatment of FAB. So now we will go to the result regarding intergenerational equality, or IE. So to compute the intergenerational equality, we have computed a Gini coefficient for each of the generations. The value of the Gini coefficient ranges between 0 and 1, where 0 means perfect equality and 1 means perfect inequality. So when the splits the generation payoff equally among the members, the value of the Gini coefficient is 0. When she takes everything, the value of the Gini coefficient is 1. So let's go to the result. First, we see the urban-rural difference in Gini coefficient. So this histogram shows the percentage distribution of Gini coefficient under basic ISIEG in the urban and rural areas. So in the urban area, we have three major modes of Gini coefficient. So 35%, 21%, and 21% of the generations Gini coefficient is between 0 and 0.1, 0.3 and 0.4, and 0.9 and 0.1. That means majority of the generation in the urban region endanger intergenerational equality, or they do not maintain intergenerational equality when there is no treatment. However, in the rural region, 76% of the generations Gini coefficient is between 0 and 1, and there is only one major mode at 0 and 0.1, between 0 and 0.1. That means without any treatment, rural region maintain intergenerational equality unlike the urban region. So regression analysis again confirms there are two channels that affects decision for intergenerational sustainability. One is a change in social value orientation from pro-social to pro-self. Another is the region-wise factors such as reciprocity and norm-based reasoning. So now the last one is the effect of FAB on the decision for intergenerational equality. So we have already seen in this is the result of the urban region comparison between basic ISIAG and FAB. So in the urban region, we have three major moods, and majority of the generations do not maintain intergenerational equality. However, under FAB, 83% of the generations Gini coefficient is between 0 and 0.1. That means majority of the generations maintain intergenerational sustainability, intergenerational equality in the urban region. So let's go to the concluding remarks. The conclusion is FAB maintains intergenerational sustainability and intergenerational equality in the urban region. And with urbanization, both intergenerational sustainability and intergenerational equality pose more danger with urbanization because of a change in social value orientation and other region-wise factors. But FAB is demonstrated to be successful to maintain these two in the urban region. So there are so we conjectured that in case of the basic ISIG, majority of the generations or majority of the people in the urban region take the decision through norm-based reasoning, where the norm is maximizing own self. But when we conduct the FAB, under FAB, they need to apply more logic-based reasoning. That means they need to logically synchronize their decision in step 1 and step 2. So they need to logically synchronize their decision in step 1 with their decision in step 2. That enables them to take decision based on logic or enable them to think more about logical synchronization, and then this is how FAB becomes successful. So it can be used to solve public goods problem with intertemporal nature and intergenerational inequality problems. So that's the end of my presentation, and questions are welcome. Thank you very much.